I just did a recording of this, and if you're seeing this version, that means I made a shorter version. I thought it was a little bit better. So I'm going to really quickly go over the notes I've been taking as I've been playing Lobotomy Corporation, what I find is a pretty difficult game. And if you're struggling, like I was, these are my tips to help make you as good as you can be, as fast as possible. So what we have are 4 basic ground rules I'm going to go over really quickly, and hopefully they will help you improve because they sure helped me when I started taking notes. Spoiler warning for this thing, I'm going to spoil 2 anomalies. The one that you start with, so not really a big spoiler, you probably already learned how that one works, and then this little stupid bird. So first off, this game is a roguelike. Don't try to beat it in one run. You may need to do runs to just complete certain missions given to you by certain departments, which you'll learn what that is as you go through the game. Don't be afraid to restart in order to beat one if you think you've gotten too far. And what can be more frustrating is finding out that there's an answer to something you've been having a problem with that lied in a mission completion from a little bit further back. So don't be afraid to go back and do that. And I would recommend highly to take the double speed one early. So there are 3 ways to retry and do the roguelike feature. Number 1 is retrying the day. I recommend in any case that you have a new anomaly, don't send someone in to die because you get less points if you do that. Send in someone who is your highest stats, and if they die, restart the day. Do this until you've learned all the info you need to know and can either end the day or restart the day and be able to perfect that anomaly. So if you need to have a notepad nearby, do it. That's the best thing about retrying the day. Something goes wrong and you're going to end your thing with less than a perfect score, retry the day. When it comes to the second one, retry from print, this will keep all the info you've learned. Use this to take advantage of learning them and then earn gear for the next run and all this stuff so you can avoid horrible anomalies. As long as you finish the day, you get to keep everything, the gear, the knowledge, the PE points for that anomaly, and you can bring them with you back in time. At times I'll pick new anomalies with the idea of taking them and just trying to get their name. And once I've got their name, I know never to pick them again and restarting. Never take the train. Never take the train. If you see a train one, don't take it. Quick employee growth. Did you know that when your employee enters a chamber, they're not just studying it, they're also learning? Every stat that you can use to observe an anomaly can upgrade the respective colored stat for your employee. So what are those stats? Red is your health, white is your sanity, the blue is your attack speed and move speed, and the purple is your work speed and success rate. So it's always good you start with the purple one. You can buff someone up really high in the beginning, because when the day ends, you don't have to stop working. So you can grind your character up to almost level 5 if you want to, if you desire. The earlier you are in the game, the safer this is to do. The later you go, the harder this will be because you'll have too many things to keep track of. And you can definitely ruin a day of work after spending 30 minutes grinding because you lost track of one counter and then suddenly something shows up and eats all of your units. So just know that's kind of the give and take to this, is they will try to trick you into staying longer to train, and then you'll mess something up and lose an employee and have to restart the day, and you spent 30 minutes training. So there's a give and take. Be careful. As for why I was going to spoil the bird and the skull lets you do understanding, the bird lets you do insight. These are both really good stats to have high in because I'd rather them just die than go insane and attack my people or release another anomaly. So the bird is also a great one because he really has no problems. He will break out of his cage every so often, but if you leave him alone, he will not hurt you. They also have a great item that you can get. If you keep working the bird, you might get this necklace that gives you better specialties and other things like move speed. I believe it's move speed and success rate. I think you get those for free, or it's just your mind you get for free. But either way, great stats to get for free for just working the bird. And then you can get work speed. And a lot of things I find in the later game need high temperance, which is that purple stat, in order to either successfully work them because you have a high success rate, or just to avoid dying after finishing your job with them. Number 3, this is the countdown. That thing's horrible. If you've dealt with it, and this is probably causing you some heartache, if you assign 8 people to go to 8 different lobbies at one time and they each go into their room, then suddenly a meltdown occurs. How could you plan for this? Every time you enter a room, it will add a bar to the counter. When the bar fills, it'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. It'll either say the number of rooms that will go into meltdown, or it will say what event will be happening. It'll be based on the time of day and then the color of the icon. So if it just says 3, it means that 3 rooms will go into meltdown. That's okay if you know how to handle every room in your facility. It's literally not a problem. But if you have a room in your place that if you go into it will cause death because either you don't know how to handle it, it's currently at a bad state because of the anomaly, or something else, you risk losing an employee to that. So careful, tread lightly when you get to there. Now, if it's a room, when you click on it that says no breakout, you don't have to interact with it. If you fail to interact with it, you will lose some of your boxes for the day. Better than dying. So if you can't do it, don't do it. Just wait, chill it out, be fine. As for the events, these kind of relate to your gear, which is the next thing I want to talk about. Those events will be based on, like I said, time of day and a color. Those colors are amber, crimson, green, and violet. There's only 4 of them, so try to memorize which one you're looking at. It confused me for a while because I kept getting amber and crimson and thinking they were the same thing. No, there's 4 different events. If you're curious what gear setup is best, I just recommend, in general, any gear is better than the starter gear for the most part, because your starter gear is, you'll take normal damage from red, normal damage from white, 1.5 damage from black, and double damage from pale. Not many things do pale damage, but black is essentially damage to both stats at the same time, your health and sanity. Red is to your health, and white is to your sanity. When it comes to damage that the creatures will do, just throw on any armor that's better than the beginning set. Usually the penitence set given by the skull is great, or the set given by the bird is also good. As for weapon variety, I recommend 2 white, 2 black, and then a pale or a red, whichever one you can get your hands on. The later you go, the less effective red tends to be, and the downside of using red is if you attack your teammates with it, if they go insane, you will kill them. If you attack them with white, you will heal them. Other than that, to get lob points, you get them at the end of a day based on your score. It's a multiplier times an amount that's given based on each day. Think of it this way: every day in the first week is 1 point, and then the second week it should be 1 point, and I think it's not until like the third week that you get 2 points per day, and the multiplier is S rank and A rank are times 3, and everything below is going to be times 2 or times 1. So it's important to really never go and end a day with a worse rank if you can avoid it. It's super easy that once something happens, just retry the day. The later you get, the more you may decide not to do that, because law points become less important the better your team already is. At least that's how I found it to be. And I recommend whenever you hire anyone, just go ahead and start them with 2 fortitude and 2 of the SP one. I forget what it's called, the sanity one. Make sure they have 2 white and 2 red, and you'll save yourself a lot of heartache from them entering a room and accidentally going insane or having a problem. It'll pretty much save you from them dying in rooms because of non-anomaly things. It kind of lowers the amount of things that you get confused about. Otherwise, just bank the points. Having more people does not help. They don't get anything from being there. So you don't need more employees than you have rooms unless you need them for combat reasons. Like you can post them up outside of a room with white staffs to bounce a monster if it gets out, or to help heal people. It's really better for managing ordeals than it is for managing your rooms. I'm moving to a system where I pretty much have 2 workers, and I'm going to have 3 to 4 people who are guarding the entire place that I just equip with the best armor and weapons I can get them, and then I'll usually have like a lead for each room, because the longer they stay in any certain division, the better stat bonuses they'll get based on the division they're in. If you start with the main room, it gives movement speed because they need to run around the whole facility because it's the starting room. So just know the longer they're there, the better stats they'll get for movement speed, and that will change based on what armband they're wearing, which you can check under the little employee kind of further more stats. I can go into a more detailed guide. I've already actually filmed that more detailed guide just before this, but it was a little long-winded, and to be honest, that's the heat of it. If you want to play the game, make sure you know it's a roguelike. Make sure you start when you buy any employee. Just buy 1 per end of day, and just make sure you buy them. That costs 1 and give them sanity and health. Boom. Now there are 2 in those stats, and you can go train them whatever else you have in rooms. When the day ends, don't stop. In the beginning, use it to grind out a little bit of extra time so you can have a better foot and move these people maybe to be the leaders of new sections or the defenders of your entire base by making them as fast as possible and giving them cool weapons. Whatever you want to do. But if you want to get into Lobotomy Corporation, this is a good start. Sorry if it was a little fast. I wanted to make one that was quicker than the one before, and I only have a limited amount of time in my day. So peace out. Bye.